guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video is going to be very different to what I usually do film, but I wanted to address the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case because it's something that has bothered me now for the past year since I heard about this, and everybody was sharing it all over social media, and for the past couple of months I've been really looking into it, getting my knowledge and trying to find out what actually happened. And I wanted to make this video because I want Johnny to get justice, and I want to prove to people around the world that potentially don't believe that Johnny is the victim, that he is the victim. And I just want to explain a few things that happened, and if you want some knowledge for yourself and you want to know some things that happened, I will leave a few videos in the description so you guys can see some footage, documentaries and things like that to explain the case a little bit more. I wrote down some notes on my phone to give me a little bit of direction on what to speak about. It might not be in order, but I thought I'd make a list because otherwise I'll be rambling and make this video so much more longer than it needs to be. And I just want to point out a few things that I've noticed throughout watching these documentaries and these videos, and I want to explain what actually happened and why I do believe Johnny is the victim in all of this. So let's get straight on into the video. So from the get-go of their marriage, Johnny believed that he was set up. So I think personally that Amber knew exactly what she was doing from the moment that she got with Johnny. She knew from the get-go who Johnny was, that he's a very, very, very well-known actor in America, in Hollywood and all around the world. Not just obviously in America but all around the world. He's very well known, and he obviously has a lot of money, which we'll get more into in the video. But yeah, he thinks that she knew exactly what she was doing, and she kind of had this planned that she was going to do this. She knew that she was going to make up these allegations of him abusing her and all sorts of things like that. And I found this out through a documentary that I watched, and I think it was an Australian documentary, but again I'll link everything below. But I definitely do agree with that as well. From her past and everything like that, it just kind of really makes sense. Okay, so now I'm going to mention the 2015 incident. So Amber and Johnny were in Australia, and they were staying at this mansion, whatever it was, house that they had rented from someone for the time that they were going to be in Australia. If I'm correct, I think they was in Australia because Johnny was filming the Pirates of the Caribbean. And when this incident happened, Johnny and Amber were both on medication for whatever they were dealing with at the time. I know Amber was on medication to treat her bipolar. I can't remember what Johnny was on. I don't know what medical condition or whatever he was fighting at the time. I have forgotten that, but I do know they was both on medication at the time to deal with their own problems that they had. So things got a little bit crazy. I can't remember exactly why they got crazy. I don't really know, but things got very out of hand, and she cut off Johnny's finger. And when I first heard this story, I thought, did she actually cut off his finger, like physically cut it off? But this was done by a vodka bottle, and she launched it. Johnny was sitting on a chair and it cut off a little bit of his finger, and I think it shattered the bone. I'm not too sure the precise wording of it, but yeah, she threw a vodka bottle, obviously clearly very, very hard at Johnny, otherwise it would not have done the damage that it did, and he needed to go to hospital for it. He needed to be slightly sedated because the pain was horrendous, as you can imagine. If you're losing part of your finger as well, I'm sure it won't be the most pleasant pain you've ever had. There's footage from this incident, and they were two doctors. I can't remember if they were both doctors, but they potentially might have been. I'm not too sure, but I know there was at least one doctor there, and footage was filmed. This was footage that I think was filmed from Amber, and it backfired on her because obviously it caught all of the things that were said behind the scenes. So the two people that were there, I think there was a doctor and then there was a man. The man has actually passed away now. So obviously, I'm guessing if he was here, obviously would have given a lot of evidence to this whole situation, but he's no longer alive. And he said on that recording that Amber knew exactly what she was doing when she was doing this damage to Johnny and cutting off his finger. She knew exactly what she was doing. The tape, she was saying, I didn't mean to hurt him, she didn't mean to do it. And in the deposition that Johnny did in 2018, he declared that Amber has made out that Johnny has done it to himself. And like he said, I'd love to see the proof from scientists to see how I could do this to myself. At the time, like he said, he did have to protect Amber, so he did have to say that it was caught in some doors, like really large doors that they had in this house that they were staying at the time. And this is probably one of the most major incidents, as I can remember, that they've had in their relationship. Things got completely out of hand. The house was completely trashed. You will probably see a little bit of footage if you do watch the documentaries and things like that, the state of the house. And as you can probably tell by the pictures, things got very, very out of hand. And Johnny ended up losing a finger in the middle of it. I watched him go to hospital to visit some sick children after, and obviously he had his finger taped up. And obviously people were noticing it, and obviously didn't tell them what actually happened. He would just said, obviously he was Captain Jack Sparrow, so he just played it off and acted. Then in another video that I saw, he was speaking to his friend at a press event in Dakota and showing he was just laughing it off, and they were both just laughing it off. But then when he looked away, he was shaking, and she just looked at him as if to say something isn't right here. So people could tell that things weren't right. His little boy goes to school. I don't think Lily Depp does go to school. I think she left school when maybe she was 15 or something. I'm not too sure. But yeah, his little boy goes to school, and he has had children come up to him and tell him that his dad is a wife beater, which Johnny mentioned to Amber in some leaked footage that was released. And I think this is something Amber isn't considering. Not only does this case affect Johnny, it affects his kids, it affects his family, it affects people who know him. It does affect a lot of people that she probably doesn't understand. And I think when it starts to take a toll on your kids, and your kids are also affected by that situation, I don't think she's even taking that into consideration at all. I know for sure that even when I heard Johnny say that in the audio, it made me build up with rage, because why would you even want to even mention that you are being abused physically and mentally and you're not? Knowing that he's got 2 children, this is worldwide news. Everybody all over the world is hearing all these allegations about Johnny apparently being a wife beater, and then his kids are also having to deal with what other students are seeing, and then them students are coming to Johnny's kids and saying things, and I honestly cannot imagine it being pleasant at all. Probably the part that I'd hate the most, because whenever you're going through something, especially like this, you don't want your kids to have to get involved, or your kids to even be any involvement in it. His kids have also said that Amber wasn't always very nice to Johnny, and apparently Amber actually bullied his children, but I don't know how true that part is. I haven't really looked too much into that, but yeah, apparently she wasn't very nice to Johnny, and a few people have apparently witnessed that, which proves again, and there's just so many points in this whole video that are going to show you that he is the victim in all this. Obviously there's bad on both sides, but I feel like she's done something that can't ever compare anything Johnny's ever done. And in this video, I'm going to defend Johnny, because I do think he's a victim in all of this, and I want to show the world that he is as well. And I want to get out there that men can be victims too. Men are victims of domestic violence, and the reason men don't come out about it is because nobody ever believes them. When Johnny lost his libel case in December, I think it was November, I'm not too sure, I can't really remember the exact date, but it was against the Sun. He lost it, and that was because the judge didn't think that a woman could hit a man, and I think that is the most pathetic excuse I've ever heard in my entire life. And this is exactly why men don't speak up when they're being abused, because situations like this happen and men just think it's not even worth it. Many people have witnessed things that have gone on between them. So I think Amber's sister has witnessed something between them as well, but I think I speak about that further in the video, but I'm just going to check. Unless I haven't, then I can explain that situation a little bit more. Okay, so I think I have mentioned it in the rest of the notes that I've got here, so I'm not going to discuss that one right now, but yes, there has been people that have witnessed what has gone on between Johnny and Amber. I don't know how much to an extent, but I know her sister Whitney, I think that's her name, has witnessed things, but I'm going to speak about that a little bit more in the video, but I don't really know any more information about who else has obviously witnessed things like this. It really obviously helps his side, and it's good to have witnesses to back up what's happened. Some of Amber's family even side with Johnny. I think her father does. I'm not too sure about her mum, but I know her father does. He also has a past of domestic violence, so Johnny has been labelled in his past relationships as being the most kindest man you can ever meet. And she got arrested for domestic violence on her ex-girlfriend. And I don't know if it's the same girlfriend that she turned up to court with when she went to London at the Sun. libel case. So I think that one just makes it even more obvious that this is her that is committing domestic abuse on Johnny. Okay, so after they got divorced, she didn't pay the $7 million that she was supposed to pay to charity for the divorce settlement, which people think she used to set up this whole I'm a victim story. So Amber's excuse is the reason she has not donated this money is because Johnny accused her of all of this I'm an abuser story. So apparently she needed that money to basically defend herself, which I do not believe. A lot of people believe, like I've just mentioned, that she did this so she could potentially ruin Johnny's career. I'd to tell the world that she's the victim and Johnny is the abuser. And she's been saying for years, there's so much footage that she's been saying that she has donated this $7 million to charity. There were 2 charities that she chose, and apparently she donated that money and she lied about it, and she has not donated it still to this day, and they got divorced in 2016 and still no divorce settlement money has come from her to charity at all to this day. But they have received Johnny's, and they've got Johnny's signature, but they have not received Amber's. He was made to resign from Fantastic Beasts and fired as Jack in Pirates of the Caribbean, but he's been rehired now. I don't know how true this is. I do know they asked him to resign from his role in Fantastic Beasts, and I do think he was removed from Pirates of the Caribbean and they were going to replace him, but I think he's been rehired. Obviously, I'm not too sure if it's been confirmed yet. I hope it has, because he does not deserve to lose these roles. He has worked so hard over the past few years to become the actor that he is, and he's made a legacy for himself, and he's an absolutely incredible actor. The first film I ever watched of Johnny Depp was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's where I first came to know Johnny Depp. Obviously I watched Pirates of the Caribbean a lot when I was younger, but I don't really tend to watch it anymore. I watched it when I was about 7, so it's been quite a few years since I've watched Pirates of the Caribbean, but he's an incredible actor and I think he deserves these roles so much. So fingers crossed it's true about him being rehired, because I don't know anybody that deserves that more than him. But to be honest, he shouldn't have even lost him in the first place, but you know, some people blow my mind sometimes. Okay, so another piece of footage that I've got from an audio that was leaked from Johnny and Amber is Johnny saying to Amber, look, we don't have to go through with this, we can just leave it, we can just end it here and just get on with our lives and just not see each other again, we can just leave it. So he wasn't going to come forward about obviously him being a victim of domestic abuse or anything like that. He was just willing to leave it basically, and she didn't want to. She wanted to continue this, and when they separated, she got a restraining order on him, and that's obviously where this whole abuse claims come from. And obviously Johnny has now stepped up and said, I am not a wife beater, and that is why he's come forward. He wasn't originally going to come forward. He said to Amber, look, we don't need to do this. We don't need to go to court. We don't need to do anything like that. We can just settle it here, leave it, and just go on with our lives. But Amber did not want to do that. She wanted to take it to court, and she wanted to play this whole I'm a victim story and take it a lot further than it needed to go. And that is why they're in this position now. She also cheated on Johnny several times whilst they were married, and there's footage of different men going into their accommodation. So I think they lived in an apartment or something at the time, and the apartment building has camera in the lift, and there's footage of several men with Amber going into this lift. A news reporter also gave a report that she lived in the same building as Johnny and Amber, and she had no bruises on her or anything, and this was I think a few days after she filed for a divorce. She had no bruises on her, she was absolutely fine. She was obviously seen without makeup and things like that, coming out of the building and coming in of the building and coming into the building, and she was not seen with any bruises or anything like that, and all of a sudden these bruises randomly appear out of nowhere. So they had several arguments regarding money, and I think this is a huge factor as to why this whole situation's happened personally. From what I've come to learn about this whole case, I think Amber's done this because she's in it for the money, but let me continue. Johnny wouldn't sign paperwork, so I don't know the exact word for it, but when you get married and somebody's got a lot of money, you can sign something to say that if anything happens to you, they get like a lump sum of your money, or the money that you're entitled to, or the money you've got. I'm not too sure, but it's something regarding the money that he has, and he refused to sign it. He texted this to one of his friends and said that obviously he refused to signed something and she completely kicked off about it. And to be completely honest, I think when she got with Johnny, she knew exactly what she was getting herself into. She knew that Johnny obviously had a lot of money. He's had an absolutely incredible career so far in his life. He's been present in the acting world since 1985. He's done incredible for himself. He's made a legacy for himself. And obviously he's going to be made of money, he's going to have loads of money, and I think that's why she got with him. I think she knew that he had loads of money, she wanted the fame, she wanted the fortune, which is what he said. She's in it for the fame, she's in it for the money, and that's what she wanted from him, and it's not what she could get. So this is why she's took it so far and why things have got really out of hand. Casting directors were also looking at Johnny as if to say, oh, wife beater, you know, we don't want to cast you in our movie, which obviously is going to be downside in his career because, like he said, like, I can't get a job, like, no casting directors want me because they think I'm this woman beater. And the whole reason he wants to do this and he wants to go through with proving that Amber is a wife beater is because he, again, is a victim of domestic abuse, and he also wants to prove to the world that he is not what they claim for him to be, which I think good on him, because if I was being accused of something and I wasn't doing it, I'd fight until people believed I was right as well. So I completely agree with what he's doing. As this case has been gradually going on for the past few years, she's been caught lying several times and is looking very good on Johnny's side at the minute, and she just keeps getting found out more and more as this case goes along. I think they've got a case on May the 31st, and hopefully that is when he gets justice, because he truly does deserve it. Johnny's exes are also defending him, which obviously is a really good thing. He has not made any form of domestic violence on any of his exes. Amber has. I mean, I think that's proving to you there that she is guilty. And Johnny's exes have come forward and said how much of an amazing man he is and how kind he was to them and how amazing he treated them. So in Amber's deposition, if you have not watched Amber's deposition, you need to, because it is the funniest thing I've ever watched in my entire life. If you just know by watching that video that she's so guilty and she doesn't know what she's saying. 1 minute she's saying she understands, the next second she's saying she doesn't understand. She's sat eating throughout it. She's laughing at the questions that the judge is asking her. She thinks it's funny, she's smirking, and to be honest, it honestly bores my blood just watching it, because you could just tell that she's lying. There is no evidence to prove that she is not lying in that deposition. She honestly couldn't be more guilty. So honestly, I'll link it below and you can have a laugh, because she is so guilty. So in Amber's deposition, she said that Johnny attempted to throw her sister down the stairs and she went to intervene or whatever. Statement is incorrect. At one point, her sister actually thought at one point that she was going to kill Johnny. Things were getting that out of hand. And I'm nearly towards the end of the video now. This is my last point that I've got on here, and I saw this yesterday. So when Johnny lost his libel case to The Sun, this is looking good, guys. If you want Johnny to get justice, it's looking good so far. So they have accepted Johnny's appeal and they think there has been a misjudgment in the verdict. So it's looking good for Johnny. I don't know any more information than that, but it's looking good, and hopefully he gets the justice he deserves when this is all over, because it's been going on for years now. It has affected his career. I don't even know if it's even affected her career. There is rumours going around that she's being fired from Aquaman 2, but I don't know how true that is. But I know there was a petition out there to get her removed from Aquaman 2, and Johnny even signed the petition himself. His sister works for Warner Brothers, and he even asked her if she can get her fired from Aquaman 2. Which I completely agree. I don't think she has any right to have any of her roles if Johnny can't have any of his. So yeah, I really hope he gets his roles back if it isn't true that he has been rehired, because he deserves to be rehired more than probably any actor in this world. He is the most down-to-earth person. He absolutely loves his fans. Every single video that you see, you never see Johnny being harmful to anybody in any way. And I know you don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but there's so much evidence to this story that just proves that Amber is an abuser, and she's just so guilty. Everything I've just been learning throughout the past few months of looking at this case, you can just tell she's so guilty. And if Johnny doesn't win this case, I'm going to be so surprised, because the amount of evidence out there to prove that he is innocent is unreal. Like, there is so much footage of her even admitting that she's hit him, her joking about it, and then there was an audio and she said, "Tell the world, Johnny, tell the world I'm a victim of domestic violence, and see how many people side with you or believe you." And obviously he did, he told the world, and you'll be surprised how much support and love he has out there. And I just wanted to make this video because there is a few people that don't really understand a lot of what's gone on. Obviously there were a few articles and things released last year when this whole story did come out a lot more and in a lot more detail. But I think it's really important to notice that he is the victim. Obviously they both probably have done bad, but I think she's done a lot of things that don't deserve to be excused, regardless of whether she has got bipolar or anything else. There is no excuse that she can pull out the bag as to why she did what she did to Johnny. And let's have our fingers crossed that 2021 brings justice, because he deserves it more than anything. And I hope him coming forward makes other men that are being abused realise that it is okay, and you can come forward and prove that men can be victims too. Because I know, as bad as it sounds, so many women out there that have falsely accused men of domestic abuse, rape, all that kind of thing, and they are living freely in this world while the other person has been sent down for false allegations. And that can happen. Praying that doesn't happen. I really don't think it will happen with the amount of evidence that we've got out there. But I think Johnny's story will really inspire more men out there to prove that men can be abused too. It isn't just women. So I will leave links in the description to videos and documentaries that you might be interested in watching if you do want to know a little bit more about this whole story and this whole case. And I hope this does give people a little bit more information on what has happened. They've got a case in America. Apparently he's got one of the top lawyers in America with him, and it's just looking really good for him at the minute. It's looking really good for him and really bad for her. So fingers crossed he gets the justice he deserves. And I'm going to end this video here. If you guys did enjoy, please give it a like, because the more you like it, the more this video will get out there and approach more people, and more people will understand that Johnny is the victim in this. So more people that see this, the more people hopefully will believe that Johnny is the victim. And I have linked lots of evidence in the description as well. So hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please smash your big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'd be extremely grateful. And if you haven't already, please hit the notification bell, notify every single time I upload a video, and I will see you in my next video.